get started. Thank you, Jorge. Thank you so much for being here today for the Great School Voices interview. If you could just start off by introducing yourself.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jorge Lerma. I am a lifelong resident and native of Oakland, California. I am running for the open vacancy in District 5 of the Oakland Unified School District. And what I bring is a lot of experience and willingness to make the world a better place for all of us.
Thank you so much. And yeah, Jorge, school safety is our first question. And it's these questions are brought to you by students serving on the Oakland Youth Commission. So we have some questions for you. And yeah, the first one around school safety. School safety is a major concern for everyone in Oakland, especially with school shootings in the last year on campuses. What ideas do you have to improve school safety?
Yeah, great question, and it's the right question. School safety, let me say this first, it's not just about the school. It's connected to what's going on in Oakland, in our community, and what's going on in every neighborhood. It has to do as much with equity as it does with disparity. Everybody thinks that creating safer schools in the old days and the old way of thinking meant security, police, guys or people walking around with stopping fights. No, but that we have a different notion of school safety. So it's not just about the school. It must involve the city council, the mayor, and leaders from the county and the state. But there are things that we can do at the school site. One, some first steps is set expectations. There must be an ongoing discussion about safety and code of conduct at every school, every day, in every classroom. It must be connected to the classroom curriculum. It's not a separate thing or something that you talk about when there's a problem. Two, include safety and wellness discussions. That should be a topic in itself. The review of the previous day, a review of a situation that came up in the classroom. Dialogue is the first way to remediate a problem. And three, finally, identify methods and techniques that people can use in the classroom at the school site, whether it be debates, discussion circles, the spoken word. These feelings and these topics must have a place in the school curriculum. So yes, school safety is a complicated issue, but there are things that we can do both in the school and with the community.
Thank you very much. Next question has to do with graduation rates. Graduation rates have been steadily improving, but still average at 75% of OUSD students. What do you think can be done to boost graduation rates to 100%?
Graduation rates have been improving, but let's break it down. Different ethnic groups, different cultural groups have different results. So we need to not just, I don't accept that we just, that improvement must be a crawl or a simple little improvement. I'm not satisfied with simple improvement. I want to see accelerated. I want to see acceleration. I want us to break out of this cycle of just slight improvement. No, we want to break out completely. And it starts with, the question is, what's the objective of high school graduation? Just to graduate with a high school credential? Or is it about graduating with A through G requirements to go on to college? Or is it to graduate to get in some kind of career training? So there's a couple of questions that I have about high school graduation rates. Yes, overall, there's improvement. All the high schools that I'm aware of are doing a terrific job, principals, teachers, and staff. But we need to accelerate what we're doing so that graduation is not just a diploma, but a map to the future.
Thank you very much for your answer. The next question has to do with charter schools. why do you think District 5 has become a popular district for charter schools? And what do you see your role is in supporting both the district schools and charter schools?
Ryan, my role on the school board is to make sure that all the schools, district or charter, are keep the same standards and are achieving schools. That all schools develop and use the best practices to instruct their students. And that being multidimensional instruction, diverse, inclusive ways of approaches to, so that we're not just lecturing or some linear, that means some straight, hands-off kind of approaches. So that's my primary job, and there's some requirements of overseeing the charter schools in a minimum way. So, but I will say this, as for the popularity of the charter schools in the community, that's a community decision. That's a family decision. If all the schools maintain high academic standards, there's room for everyone. For those who are in district schools, they will be pleased, and those who choose public charters, they will be happy. No one is going to be left out. We have room for everyone. This is a time that the city must come together and educate all the children. There's no one preferred method. I want to see the district schools become the best schools possible so that people want to come to our district schools. But in Oakland, we have also open enrollment and choice. That gives the options. The last option goes to the family. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next question is about the school to prison pipeline. What ideas do you have to dismantle the school to prison pipeline? Sure, District 5 youth are set up for success.
Yeah, good question. I like the question. Actually, the dismantling the school to prison pipeline begins with providing all of Oakland students with early childhood opportunities. By getting to be a competent reader by the 3rd grade, by having a diverse workforce, by having child development, an inclusive curriculum, and a diverse workforce, a workforce that looks like the students. So it's not one thing. There's not this bad school that we have to go in there and reform. When adult behaviors changes, student outcomes will change. And so the way we're going to dismantle the school to prison pipeline is by providing equity, more opportunities, embracing diversity. All instruction should be multicultural and representative of our humanity. It should reflect the contributions of all the diverse lifestyles and in our city. Yeah, dismantling is important, but it doesn't happen in high school. It doesn't happen in middle school. There are elements of dismantling, but it's all about providing equitable resources for all students and being inclusive. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Jorge. The next question is on school closures. What is your stance on school closures, and how do you plan to vote on future proposals around consolidating schools?
Yeah, again, I understand. I don't look forward to school closures. I'm not promoting school closures because I understand the schools, the real estate that they're on, where they're located is a legacy issue. It's a gift from when Oakland was more of an industrial city, when it was an agricultural center, and we had these large tracts of land, and we had the population to sustain these schools. But that's no longer the case. People are leaving Oakland because they're because of the high rents. The jobs are no longer industrial jobs. So we have a problem with gentrification. We have an issue with high rents. We're losing children in the inner city. Now we need to reinvest in schools to keep them open. because as I said earlier, when students leave a school because the parents feel that it's low achieving or underperforming, and they go across town to take their student to another school, what they're not doing it intentionally, but every child, schools are kept open because every student represents a monetary resource. It's about 15,000 more or less. So when a student leaves a particular school, he not just leaves his body, or the family leaves the location. They also take their what they represent as a financial resource to another school. So no, I don't look forward to closing schools, but there may be a way to repurpose our schools so that the schools, if they need to be modified or changed, they can continue to serve the community as clinics, as training sites, as parent education sites, small hospitals. What I like to see is the school sites themselves become a place where maybe we can consider housing for the homeless, or that we can consider housing for our employees, classified and certificated. So it's a complicated issue. Am I going to run to close a school? No. There's got to be a lot of study and research. If we have to do it, how can we do it in the way that it most benefits the community and least hurts our students? Thank you.
Thank you very much. And yeah, thank you so much for your time and your answers. Our last question today is about restorative justice practices. And the question is about what do you think about the use of restorative justice practices in schools? And do you think there should be a bigger emphasis on them in OUSD?
Yeah, no, restorative justice has proven to be an effective method of communication and problem solving, no doubt about it. But more as important as restorative justice, the school has to be just. There has to be restorative justice as a technique of improving communication cannot be denied. But the larger goal too is to restore our humanity, to restore our kindness, to restore our communities in every school. No one technique can do that. We need to continue to build, restore our health and wellness by working in collaboration, by working in partnerships, by having a student voice on the community advisory board, the CPAB, the board that I sit on, which there are 55 community councils across Oakland that help maintain wellness and security in each community. Historically, students and families have not participated in that great resource. We need the parents to be on site. Again, things need to be always culturally competent. Whatever we do in one language, we have to do it in multiple language. And I believe in the power of strengthening affinity groups, working with the people that look like you from your community, as much as working across the board, across nationalities, across language groups. So both approaches, working as an ethnic, Afrocentric, Latino-centric, Asian-centric, but also working as a community-centric approach. So restorative justice, yes. Expanding the program, yes, but it can't be the only program. We have to have restorative justice as part of our life in the school every day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jorge. I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you for allowing me to speak on these topics. I appreciate the questions from the students. When I am elected, I would like to have a regular contact with the student council and in every community, in every school in District 5. Thank you.
Thank you.